with a lawyer is gonna kill you.
Larry's admonitions to his artists who are signing up without lawyers, he would, at least I heard him say this, and he seemed to be, you know, doing it. He seemed to be proud of the fact that he was giving them this like warning in advance. You know, he says, "Oh, look," you say, "I want you to know that this is a business." He says, "And if I can screw you," he says, "I will." You know what I mean? And he meant it. You know what I mean? And not that he's any more unusual than any other record company, in my opinion, but I always admired him because he was honest enough to tell them in advance that, you know, you might be, you know, in for a real experience here.
The pioneers of house had sold their tracks to Sherman. But as record sales boomed, some felt hard done by.
I mean, what would happen is they would go there with their first record because he was only planting town.
They had reservations, but the thing of wanting to get their music out was just a little stronger, and so they're trying to do the best deal that they can do. But it just wasn't good enough, you know?
Larry's deal is a deal. It's an opportunity. Guys get to put records out. But you may not make any money. That's just the deal.
The paperwork is right. The people got paid handsomely in the early stages. It's just a general consensus in house that they're of the opinion that they sold more records than the business dictated.
Move your body.
The burning desire to dance had defiantly spawned on new music.
Move your body.
It was not without cost. Both Larry Levan and Ron Hardy were to die of drug-related illness in 1992.
Rock your body.
But their legacy is a music that has taken flight far beyond the clubs of its birth.
Rock your body. Rock.
Without such pioneering DJs, dance music would never have flourished.
Rock your body.
Without labels like Trax, house music may never have left Chicago.
Boom, 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 boom.
But without Marshall Jefferson, house wouldn't have Move Your Body.
Everybody said it wasn't house music when I first did it. That piano, what the hell is that doing there? You know, who you think you are, Fast Domino? You don't put no piano on no house record. That ain't house music. So I called it the house music anthem.
And the response to the house music national anthem, Move Your Body, was just international.
I equate the record to, like, Bill Haley and the Comets, Rock Around the Clock, right? Rock and roll was before that song, but that gave everybody the name. Because right after Move Your Body came out, reporters started coming from all over the world. What's house music? What's house music? What's house music, right? So, you know, Move Your Body said, gotta have house music all night long with that house music. You can't go wrong, you know, give me that house music. Then it's called the house music anthem. Sexy body, move your body.
House had a sound. It had a name. By 1986, it was ready to cross the Atlantic.
When I went to London, it was all over the radio, all the clubs. I said, this scene reminds me of Chicago.
For me, it's an amazing thing to see that another country embraces our music bigger than the country that we're from. House music's bigger than any one person. It's bigger than all of us. And I would have to say to have a portion of its inception be my legacy. You know, I feel that that's just an honor. I'm flattered.
Too strong. Check this out. Jack.
The whole scene I've been around all my life was predominantly minority. When I came across the ocean, it was the opposite. I was like, they like house music like that?
In just 3 years, the house music of Chicago was to win over dance floors from Manchester to Ibiza.
When you first heard this stuff, it was just blew your bollocks off.
While its combination with ecstasy was to transform British society.
It was the first time that people actually let themselves go.
At the time, it was a revolution. You knew things were going to change, and you know, music was going to change. Everything was going to change.
This is the story of the music and people who created the Summer of Love.
It was life-changing. It was life-changing for those people on the dance floor, and it was life-changing for me in the DJ box, and it was life-changing for the bouncers on the front door.
Check this out.
In 1985, house music existed in just one city, Chicago.
Everybody was DJs, so we needed something to catapult us into another category to make more money, and that became, you know, just fragmented into making records at that time.
The DJs of Chicago had created a new dance music from the ashes of disco. In 1985, legendary producer Steve Silk Hurley created its first hit.
We pressed it up. It went through the roof.
Hurley took house to number 9 in the American dance charts. But he didn't get the chance to release his planned follow-up.
To date, my biggest record in the UK is Love Can't Turn Around. And it came together from, once again, it's crazy, it came together from an idea Steve Silk Hurley had.
Farley was over at Jesse's place, and he said he had this idea. And so he couldn't execute that. When he knew that the three of us could.
We're running Dwayne to do the solo, the piano stuff on there. We brought in Vince, because Vince was like the lyricist on everything.
Now this is how it started. My dream's all broken-hearted because I want you. We'll never be the same because you play these silly games, and yet I want you.
We didn't have a lead vocalist.
I had recently recorded a song with this guy, Daryl Pandy, a song called Climax that was on Ray Barney's Bright Star Records. And this guy was a motherfucker of a singer. And I had heard somewhere that he had played the Cowardly Lion in the local performance of The Wiz.
And he's gay. So to us, it was like, we don't want to have anything to do with this guy, you know, because he's constantly telling us how he wants to try to get with us.
He had a big bellowing voice, and he was very churchy, and we thought that the kids were into that spiritual shit, man. Motherfuckers yelling and screaming on the records, you know. So we thought that he would go over like gangbusters in the club. So we brought this guy in, and he sang the fuck out that tune.
Now this is how it started. My dreams are broken-hearted, yet I want you. Baby, we'll never be the same, cause you play those silly games, and yet I want you, girl.
Farley started playing the shit on the radio, and, you know, copies started flying out the door.
Record goes on the radio, blows up, huge, selling numbers.
But Love Can't Turn Around divided the friends who had created it.
You just want everybody to keep calling your name, Farley, Farley, you know, so it got a little bit out of hand at that time.
Within 30 days, I'm in Rocky Jones' office, and he's cutting us a check for $20,000, $30,000. You know, and I'm sitting up thinking, I didn't expect anything out of this record, but I'm making money.
You know, you're working with your friends, and you think that, you know, I guess everybody do the right thing when somebody gets paid, you know, that everybody's sharing the wealth, but you come to find it, it's just not like that.
I never got a friggin' penny.
I don't think even Daryl got the money that he should have gotten.
But it was the track that catapulted house into the UK.